Welcome back to my channel, and today I have another Cricut video for you. I'm very excited about it. I am going to be doing some beginner craft projects in this video. I have 4 to show you, and we're going to be doing some craft projects that all involve the text tool on the Cricut Design Space. So it's going to be 4 easy ideas for you guys to get involved with to practice beginner projects with your Cricut machine. So I'm going to be using my Cricut Joy in this video just because it's a lot easier for me to be filming with the Cricut Joy on my tabletop to kind of show you guys what to do. However, these projects are perfect for using the Cricut Joy, the Explorer 2 or the Maker. So whatever machine you have, you can do these beginner projects. So hopefully that helps you guys. I am also going to be using the Cricut Design Space app on my phone. But again, you can do these projects on your laptop or device that you're using for the Cricut Design Space. So if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get straight on into it. For the projects in this video today, I'm going to be using my Cricut Joy machine. And then I've got my essentials here. I have a pair of scissors, a standard grip Cricut Joy cutting mat. If you're using other machines, then obviously you'll have different size mats, but this is one for the Cricut Joy. And then I have my weeding tool and my scraping tool. The first project I'm going to be showing you needs these lovely little wooden sticks. I'm going to be doing some garden planters with text on them to say what the plant is. Just a nice way to add a personalised creative touch to your gardening and your plants. So you'll use these wooden sticks, which you can pick up from any sort of craft store or on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box below to everything that I mention. I'm then going to be using the black adhesive vinyl. This is a kind of permanent standard vinyl and some transfer tape. I'm going to be using my mobile phone for today's video and the Cricut Design Space app that is on my phone. However, you can use your computer. For all of the tutorials, it's going to be some really simple text. I do highly recommend paying the monthly service so you can have access to all of the Cricut fonts. It just makes Cricut that much more enjoyable because you can choose any fonts and you get granted use of any of them without having any extra cost. So I'm going to go through and choose a font that I like the look of. I want something pretty simple for this, to be honest, because the text is going to be quite small. I'm actually going to go for the font Four Seasons Home Decor. I just think it's a bit nicer. Put in tomatoes. What you can do is click on that one and just come off of that because I don't want that one anymore. So I've got my text. I think this one is very simple, but I think it'll work better for what I want. So I'm just making sure the size is right. When you put your thumb on it, you can drag it like that and you'll see the size come up here. So I'm going to do it about 0.4 inches tall. And then we can actions, weld. And you just want to repeat the process of this with all of the plants that you want to label. So I'm going to have tomatoes, chives and runner beans. And just do the same thing. You want to make sure you resize it. A really great way to get both the letters the same size is you'll see when I move it around, you'll have a yellow line that kind of locks it into place. So if I just make that bigger, what happens is you can see it locks against there like that, and then you can use this little arrow tool here, and as you move it, it kind of clicks, it kind of snaps and locks it to the same size as the other one, and that way you can make sure that they're all the same size without sort of guessing, which is really handy. And once your text is ready, it is time to prep your cutting mat to get your vinyl ready to cut. So let's place our phone to one side for now. Take off the protective film on your mat. For standard vinyl, you just want to make sure it is vinyl face up and scrape out any of those air bubbles. Once your mat is ready and prepped, you can go ahead on your phone and click Make It, and then you need to select that it is on a mat, and you can see it comes up here. You can move these around like this just to make sure they have a bit of space around them. And now we can press continue, and we want to select our material. So for this one we want to click all materials, scroll down to look for vinyl. For this, just select premium vinyl. If you're on your other machine, you can just put standard everyday vinyl or permanent vinyl. Now the machine is flashing, so we can pop the mat in. And our phone tells us that we can go, so you just want to press go, and that will start the cut. Once it's done, you'll get this pop-up come on your phone, and you just want to click unload, and that will unload the mat from the machine. So to get this off of the mat, just peel your mat away from the vinyl. That will just make sure that you don't get any creasing or any folds or anything in the vinyl itself. And then cut off any of the extra vinyl that is in the way. Now we're going to weed off any of the excess vinyl. I like to start with the insides of the font. So if I zoom you right in to show you this, start with any letters that have pieces in the middle like that. It just makes it a little bit easier. And then what you can do is take off a corner and then pull it like so. So now we have our little letters. It is now time to transfer these letters over onto our sticks. And to do that, we need to use the transfer tape. So cut off a piece big enough to cover your letters. So with the transfer tape, you want to take off the sticky clear side from the backing and then place it as flat as possible over your text. Try and start at sort of one corner and then run it over it, like that. Then use your scraping tool and just scrape over the letters, and you want to try and get this stuck to the transfer tape. And a good way to test this is just to turn it over and check, and that's sort of coming away nicely. If it doesn't do it first time, then just keep going over it with the scraping tool. So now the text is on the transfer tape, we can go ahead and place it onto the sticks. So you just want to line up where you want it. I'm just going to eyeball it. Place it on there like that. Use your scraping tool as well just to make sure it's all secured on there. A tip as well, if you've got some slightly stubborn letters that don't want to come off, use your weeding tool, the sharp point, and just sort of delicately hold it off of the tape. So there we go. Really straightforward, really simple to do. I think it looks really cute. I'm going to go ahead and do the other two now, and then I will show you the finished result when they're done. The next project I'm going to be doing is for these lovely little glass cups. Now they're great for little coffee glasses, but I'm going to be adding some really beautiful premium metallic vinyl, and I'm going to add some sort of slogans and words like coffee, latte, cappuccino, just across the glass. I think that'd be really nice. I think it's just a nice little gift that you can give to someone, or just kind of spruce up your coffee cups in your home. I get a lot of questions online about what do you do with vinyl on cups. Now what I would recommend is make sure you get premium permanent vinyl or permanent vinyl. And then when it comes to washing, do not put them in the dishwasher, but you can obviously hand wash the rim and the inside. I would just say, if you're going to put vinyl on a cup, make sure you don't do it too close to the edge or anything like that, so obviously you can drink it and wash it and that kind of thing. But it is not dishwasher proof, so don't put it in the dishwasher. Similar process as before with previous make is to open up the Cricut Design Space. We're going to be using the text feature, and to insert some text I'm just going to go through and select a font that I like the look of. So I've chosen a font called Lipstick Lettering. So I really like that font. In order to get the letters to meet each other, because I want it to kind of all tie in, we're going to go on to Edit, and you can see there's like size, letter spacing, line spacing. So you want to go into letter spacing and minimize that with the little minus button. And can you see it's kind of moving it back and forth. So once you have it as you like it, I've got a little tip so we can keep all of the letters uniform and the same without having to do that step constantly. If you make sure you click onto the text so it's selected, click layers and then duplicate it. We have one for each cup, and then duplicate it a few more times. And what happens is when I double click on that, because we haven't welded the font yet, it's still a text tool, so we can double click and edit it. And it just makes the process easier so we don't have to go through, find the font again, make sure we have the same letter spacing for all of the letters. It's going to be the same. So for this one I can put latte, and we've got the same look and feel as the first text. Once you have all your letters, make sure you resize them to how you want them to fit onto your cup. So I've made coffee kind of the biggest out of all of them, and for this size cup I've made it 2 inches wide. So I'm just going to go through and make sure I weld all of my letters so that they are all one layer. So I can go ahead and press Make It on a mat, and there you go, you can see it's all lined up ready. I'm just going to have a little adjustment to make sure they've got room, which actually looks pretty good to be honest. Once they're all ready to go, it's time to get the mat prepped with the vinyl. The shiny side up, we can go ahead and press continue, and it is a premium vinyl textured metallic. I already have it saved there because I've used this vinyl before, so we can click on that and it's letting us know that we can now load it into the machine. Let's just pop that in there. Once it's ready we can press go. The cuts are done. Now, same as before, you just want to peel the mat away from the vinyl. So now they're all cut out, we just want to weed off the excess like we did before. I'm just going to speed through this process because I explained it in the previous tutorial, and you just need to weed off any of the excess. It's going to take me a while because obviously I have these to do. So all of our letters have been weeded, we've got all of them ready, and it's a similar process to before. We just need to use the transfer tape to transfer them over onto the cup. The only difficulty is obviously we've got a curved surface, so it's a case of just being really patient and making sure that we go from one corner to the other when it comes to sticking it on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my pieces of transfer tape, and then I'll show you one of the words on the glass to kind of see how it comes off and stuff like that, and then I'll go ahead and sort of finish it off and do the rest. So I've stuck my bit of transfer tape onto the word. I'm going to use my scraping tool. So for curved items, what I like to do is just sort of eyeball where I want it, start at one side and then slowly go from the side to the other side like that to make sure it's nice and flat, no air bubbles or anything like that, like this. And usually with glass you don't really need to do much, just peel it off. And there we have it, there is the finished cup. It's really simple but really cute. I absolutely love the letters on this, and this vinyl is just beautiful as well. I love it. I think they're really, really sweet. Yeah, I think they're really cute. And now let's move on to the next one. The next project I'm going to be doing is a lovely little sign for my kitchen. I had this sign already and I decided to paint over it to kind of upcycle it. It had like text and stuff on there. But it's a great project idea if you want to make something around the home. So I'm going to be doing a sign that says keys, and then my husband's a graphic designer and he's made some little key cutouts. So we're going to use some smart vinyl. I absolutely love the Joy for this because it can cut up to 20 feet long. So in terms of making a sign this big, you wouldn't think a machine this small would do that, but it can. So that's why I absolutely love doing text and stuff with the Joy, because we can cover this really well. So I'm going to do some really simple text just saying keys, and then my husband's designed some little key cutouts, but you can find them on Google or on the Cricut Design Space, just some like little key sort of shapes. The text for this particular sign is going to be pretty straightforward. I just want to choose a really simple font in the same way as before, so just on the text setting, and I'm going to scroll through and just find something that I like the look of. It's quite difficult when choosing fonts for things that are obviously going to be in the home, so I always just like to take my time with this. So I've chosen a font that I like the look of, and it's called Paddington Regular, and it's this really cool kind of blocky style font. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going to insert the keys, but what you can do is go onto image and then search on the Cricut Design Space for little key shapes, or you can find them on Google and upload them. So the upload process is really easy. You just click on upload, select from photo library and select a key. We want to remove the background of the key and then any sort of like middle bits like that, so you're just left with the shape. So you want to click on remove, and if you just tap it, it gets rid of the background like that, and then we can just tap on the inside there as well. So I'm just going to name this key 2, and there we can insert our key shape. So what I'm doing is I'm just lining up. Can you see the little yellow line there? Sort of locks it in place. I'm just going to line this key up so that they're all the same size. So now we've got our design. I'm going to hover over all of it by dragging my finger across, and then I can see what size it is coming out as. So I want it about 3 inches tall, and then this is about 19 inches long, so I just want to make sure that it doesn't go over that size. So if I do it 3 inches, it's saying it's going to be about 17 inches wide. So now that the design is ready, I'm just going to go onto actions and weld all of that together. So that's going to cut as all one layer, and it's ready to go. So we can click make it, and it's already set it as without matte because of the length. It kind of already knows that it's going to be a smart material, but obviously you can go into here and check that it's obviously without matte, so that's absolutely fine. So what I want to do is press continue. We don't need to mirror it or anything, and straight away it already recognises, because of the length and because I'm using a Joy machine, the only material it will recognise is smart materials. So we can go ahead and click Smart Vinyl Permanent, and now it's telling us it is ready to load it into the machine. So with this, you don't require a mat, so you can just put it straight on in. And once the machine has checked that there is enough material, you can go ahead and press go. So once that's done its cut, we're just going to cut off that excess vinyl there. So I'm going to go ahead and peel away the excess vinyl. Then the same as before, we want to cut some transfer tape to transfer it over onto the sign. There is the finished sign. I'm so happy with it. I think it looks really cool. I'm now going to go hang it in my kitchen, and I'll show you the finished result. The next make is this little pencil case, and this is the crafting blank from Hobbycraft. Now you can use this obviously for a wash bag or a makeup bag or something, but I thought it'd be quite cute as a little pencil case. And I've got some text here. I'm going to do the slogan "Maker's Gonna Make," and I've used the font Close to My Heart, which I thought was like quite a nice, plain, bold font. Now I've already gone ahead and put the text in because I've just followed the same steps that I did in the previous makes. However, I've got 3 different coloured iron-on vinyls for this. We're going to be using iron-on. What I want to do is just tell the machine basically that it's going to be 3 different vinyls that we're cutting. And the way to do that is if you go on to edit and scroll across, you'll see a kind of little coloured box like that. If you click on that, we're going to change that one to pink. We're going to change the middle one to grey, and then the last one to green. And essentially what I'm doing is just telling the machine that I've got 3 different colours. You don't really necessarily have to put them in the same colours as your materials. It just helps when you're working to kind of know what colour you want to do what word. So we want to make sure we've got the sizing right. So just going to measure our pouch, which is 9 inches by about 6. Selected all of the words, and I'm just going to make sure it's no more than 9 inches wide. I think that's a good size. So what we can do now is press make it, and it is going to be on a mat, and you'll see it pops up to show like the different colours. So we've got the pink, and if you click on that top left button there, you'll see you've got your mats sort of ready to how they need to be, and all of them need to be mirrored. So make sure you click the mirror button. When you're working with iron-on, you want to make sure that you mirror it because of the way that the vinyl is cut. So when cutting iron-on vinyl, you want to make sure that it is the shiny side facing down on the mat. So you can see on this you've got matte and then obviously shiny. So you want to make sure it's shiny side down. So once the mat is ready, you can press continue, and it is an everyday iron-on, which I already have here. We can just click everyday iron-on and insert it into the machine. If you ever have any issues with it not sticking to the mat, then you can use some washi tape. So we need to weed off the excess vinyl on our cuts. So start off with the middle pieces, and then you can just go ahead and pull off the rest. So for ironing on the letters, I'm actually going to use the Cricut Easy Press. It just makes the process a lot easier, but obviously you can use an iron as well. Just make sure that you preheat the product that you're working on first. So once you've pre-ironed it, you can go ahead and layer on your letters. I'm going to go with pink, and then we've got our silver one, and then our green. So you want to use a bit of heat paper, and then press your little green button and hold it tight. With the everyday iron-on, I prefer to do it on a kind of warm peel, not a hot peel, because you kind of get a bit of stretch to it as you pull it. The glitter you can peel straight away, but I've just noticed that this is over the top, so I am just going to wait and hold off and let it cool a little bit first. And there we have it, you guys. There is the finished pencil case. I think it's so cute. Obviously it's very simple, but I think it's really lovely with the different colours and stuff like that. Just goes to show you all the different things that you can do with text on the Cricut. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the 4 tutorials and the projects, and I hope it helps you on your way to practicing your crafty makes with the Cricut and using the text tool. There's so much you can do, and once you start getting into it and doing things, then you'll just love making everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!